Welcome to Real Money Talks. Real strategies from the moneymakers and the world changers that you can use to make millions, keep those millions, multiply your wealth, and build your team. Here's your host, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View, Loral Langemeier.
Hi, this is Loral, and welcome back to Loral's Real Money Talks, a podcast where we talk about making money, how to keep it, and how to invest it and how to do it with a team. And what's exciting about this time of our life is we have new industries that have sprung up in the last years, and a lot of people are standing on the sideline. A lot of people have jumped in, and there's still a lot to be determined about how some of these are going to be I'm going to say federally legal, organized, and regulated. So we're talking about cannabis, we're talking about crypto, and blockchain. So today's guest actually became a millionaire after joining the big table. Just brilliant. He was a millionaire before that in direct sales, and Eric will be back on with another conversation about direct sales for a great wine company. But today we're going to talk about crypto. And, you know, most people don't understand really crypto, blockchain. I think they have them interchangeable. So before I get way into that, Eric Carlin, welcome to Loral's Real Money Talks.
Thanks for having me on.
So Eric, you were a millionaire, you know, younger in your life in a different industry. So I want to talk about just the differences, becoming that first millionaire and then doing it again in crypto. And then the rest of this whole podcast is about crypto. I want you to tell the folks listening your background.
Yeah, sure. So I've been a professional marketer and network marketer for the last 20 years now, and recently joined the big table back about a year ago, last May of 2017, and started investing in crypto around the same time as well after going through the big table and just learning the money rules and the different skill sets and things I learned from that. It just really helped me get a grasp of the crypto marketplace. I didn't understand it completely, but dove in and created a significant asset, I guess you could say, with crypto over the past year here.
So what got you interested? Were you one of those that was just on the sideline? A lot of people were, I think, have poked around at it. I know more millionaires and billionaires, but the select few who really committed to learning it have achieved their goal. But what got you interested and how'd you get into it?
Yeah, so actually a good friend of mine introduced me to crypto. I knew nothing about it. And at the time, May last year, Bitcoin was about $1,700 per coin. Ethereum was about $80 per coin. Those are the top two most well known in the crypto marketplace. And he told me that I should just, jump in and buy some of both and just do it and not think about it and not try to understand or learn what exactly they were, how they worked. He just said that the value was going to increase significantly. And that was true because as of December 2017, Bitcoin went from $1,700 to $20,000 in value. And Ethereum went from $80 to about $1,400 per coin. So fortunately, I loaded up on both of those as well as some others. And I now probably have 50 or 60 different cryptocurrency coins. And, it's just been a lot of fun learning about it as I went along. I didn't understand everything about it, but I trusted my friend, trusted that advice, and thank goodness I did.
I love that. So let's just go back to some of the definitions. I mean, in layman's terms, digital currency. I mean, I think a lot of people think it's hype. It's not going to, I'm going to say, replace the fiat currency, which I think that over time it will. So just talk about just how it works now. Is it transactable? Just layman's definition.
Yeah, so basically, cryptocurrency is a digital currency for the global economy. The most well-known is what Bitcoin, as we were saying. It is starting to be more and more transactable. Yeah, I live in Las Vegas, and we're starting to see different locations, different convenience stores, whatever, say, we accept Bitcoin. Now you can do different transactions on Craigslist. eBay and Amazon are supposed to be coming soon with the ability to purchase with crypto. And eventually you'll be able to purchase anything from your groceries to a haircut to getting gas, everything you'll be able to purchase in the future with crypto. So it doesn't have to overtake fiat currency, the dollar or anything else. It could just be an additional alternative because there's a lot of people that are anti-bank and the anti-banking system because a government at any time could overprint money and, deflate the entire, currency and valuation. Whereas that can't really happen in the cryptocurrency marketplace because it's a global currency, which is pretty exciting.
You had mentioned earlier that you own upward of 50 coins. So just kind of describe the differences in the coins. How would you get started? How did you even start discerning the difference? Because there are some real, I'm going to say, shit ones that, have come and gone already, where, a lot of people, those who drove it made the money and those who followed along lost their money. So talk about how do you even evaluate?
Yeah, I mean, we're still in the infancy of this entire marketplace. I think less than 10% of people even own any cryptocurrencies. And, there's a lot of different ways to evaluate Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo. Those are, some of the top ones. But you can learn just like any investment. There's a lot of, Googleable information that you can research online. But really, there's some key criteria and metrics that you want to look at, and different people, have different ways to look at this. But just like anything, I mean, it's like any kind of investment that, you look at, do you have a significant target market or is it a small niche market? How much competition is there in that market with other coins? Is it just trying to be another Bitcoin, or is it actually doing something significantly unique or different? Is it a Me Too coin, or is it unique or different? Who are the founders? Who's the advisory board team? Do they have a track record in whatever industry that they're in? So those are important things to know, because there's some people that just, say, hey, a couple of buddies get together and create a coin, say, okay, well, what industry should we get in? And you can kind of vet those people too and say, like, okay, what's their track record? Have they been in business? Have they been in whatever industry that cryptocurrency is representing? And that kind of gives you a good idea and feel for, do they know what they're doing? Do they have the ability to guide this project along in a solid way that's going to be worth that investment?
And can anyone start a coin?
Yeah, I mean, anybody can start a coin. That's the challenge, and that's why, you got to kind of, do some due diligence and vetting, and, talk to other people that are, in the industry and ask them, okay, well, what do you think of this coin, and how do I evaluate this, and what criteria should I be looking for? What kind of questions should I be asking? What kind of research should I be doing? So yeah, pretty much anybody can create a coin, and there's over 1,000 coins now to choose from. That's kind of the blessing and the curse in this marketplace. But there are some very solid projects that, there were a lot of millionaires that were created in just 2017 alone. And, it's pretty exciting with what the future holds here.
So let's answer some of those questions. So a new coin comes along, right? I just did one with you. Some other, folks, I think, in our community are going to do a small amount. But how, obviously, we're learning from you and following yearly. Whose lead did you follow when you started looking? And you said, who manages? So talk to what people should be looking for. Like, when you say they have a track record, do they have to have done one coin? Or is this like real estate where you think, if they haven't done like 4 or 5 transactions, I'm not going to do a deal with them? I mean, what's some evaluation points?
Yeah, the evaluation points are pretty much the ones that I was saying, is that, you want to look at, is there a large target market? Is there a high demand for that coin or the service that they're providing, what they're doing? How much competition is there in that market with other coins? Is it a Me Too, coin and project, or is it unique? Is there something different that they're doing? Do they have a significant founding team that they're part of there? And, the main ones, like I said, are Bitcoin and Ethereum. And people ask all the time, how do I get started? How do I do that? My friend just told me to go set up an account on Coinbase. And that's what I did, because Coinbase and Gemini are the main ones in the US, at least, that allow you to deposit fiat currency. That means your dollars, that you can immediately purchase cryptocurrency with those. And then at any time, yes, you can cash that out. People ask that all the time. Okay, well, if my Bitcoin goes up, can I actually sell it and get money out? Absolutely, you can do that. I've done that before. It deposits right into your bank account, and it's pretty simple to do that.
And so walk us through, just somebody's listening, we have people from all over the world listening. They want to start today. Would you go to Coinbase, and then you mentioned another one? Just walk us through a little more simpler for somebody who's never done it before. How would they start?
Yeah, so Coinbase right now that's probably the easiest one to get started on. And you can choose from Bitcoin, you can get Ethereum, get Bitcoin Cash. You can get a couple other coins on there too. And so basically you'd set up your account on Coinbase and then you'd link it to your bank account and then make your initial deposit into your Coinbase account and then purchase however much that you want to. So Bitcoin, for instance, there's 23 million coins that will ever be created and produced. Right now, there's about 18 million that are available. And that's what makes it very desirable, because the supply and demand factors, there's not that much supply overall out there. And so the demand is huge for that coin. And, sitting around, $4,000 per Bitcoin currently, if you only put in $400, you'd basically buy 0.1 Bitcoin. So you can buy fractions of coins as well. You don't have to have the whole $4,000, or if you do have that, you could buy a couple Bitcoins for $8,000 or whatever you want to do. There's a lot of different options to be able to do that.
So a lot of people are scared of this crash. So it's interesting because it's just such a general statement, right? It's like, the real estate market's going to crash. The stock market's going to crash. So when they talk in terms of this, there's 1,000 coins. They're not all going to crash at one time. So how do you watch the market? Or will they all crash at one time? Bitcoin's really low. So everybody's worried about the crash, right? And they're worried about how to get in. So just want to alleviate some of those.
Yeah, so it really depends on perspective, and it depends on, your historical analysis too, because last January 2017, Bitcoin was roughly $1,000 per coin. Now it's sitting around $4,000 and something dollars. So that's a, 400% return on investment over roughly a year and a half, almost 2 years now. That's not too shabby. It did go up to 20,000, yes, and now has, come down to, 4,000 since then. So there's been some major fluctuation with that. Ethereum and so the other coins, same thing. But it's really just been more of I think, an overdue correction for what needed to happen, because it rose so far so fast. And perhaps now it's overcorrected. I think, the entire market is a strong buy right now with all these coins, especially when you look at different analysts that say that Bitcoin's supposed to go from now, $4,000 to maybe $50,000 per coin, 100,000, 500,000, maybe even $1 million per coin. And Ethereum sitting at 130 or so right now per coin. A lot of analysts say that's going to go to $2,000 to $3,000 per coin in the next couple of years. So it looks like a huge buying opportunity.
Yeah, I was going to say huge buying opportunity right now. So talk a little bit about your connections. You've made massive connections because of your success, and you're on the board, you're advising some of the new coins that are coming out. So talk a little bit about how that all works. It seems like there's a tight little inner circle, and you all just get to know each other online. How does that all kind of work?
Yeah, I've followed a lot of people over the last year and a half or so. And I've really gotten into, some different chat rooms, whatever. And then with my success and the notes that we've collaborated on, I've actually now participated in raising money for some new coins that are coming out to market, and doing what's called an ICO, which is an initial coin offering. So in the stock market, they call it IPO, which is an initial public offering when a new stock comes out on the stock market. In the coin world, they call it initial coin offering, or an ICO. And I've been participating in a couple different coins to help take them public there, and become an advisor as well, with helping give different advice and raise money for these coins and capitalization as well. So it's been pretty exciting to be on that side of things, because there's a lot of money to be made on these private sales pre-ICOs that typically, they call them friends and family deals, and that's usually who gets in on these. But, I've been able to get a lot of people in on the inside, and it just increases their profitability significantly.
So Eric, talk a little bit about Talent Joe, this one that you just introduced, and I'm moving in there with you. But talk about kind of how that whole came to light. Obviously, they asked you to be on the board, help raise some of the capital. And for those that are listening that have the security kind of background, financial background, address you really don't need a security license to do what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't have a securities license, and basically what I'm doing is fundraising for people who want to invest in these coins. And I was successful in another one, and that's kind of how this came to be, where based on that track record, they wanted me to become part of the advisory board on this one. And And the project really lined up for me and kind of was pretty significant because it's in the entertainment industry and it solves a huge pain point. It's like anything, it's problem solution. If there's a huge problem that a coin or project can help to solve, then you've really got something there. And that's what Talent Joe is all about, because it's really it's like a combo. Think about combining the great parts of America's Got Talent with American Idol, with YouTube, but on steroids, where you could be a 16-year-old kid in Australia who gets discovered on this platform by a Hollywood producer because of how they've set this up on the blockchain. And it's absolutely brilliant, so that time and geography are not limitations anymore. You don't have to go all the way to Hollywood to perform for Simon Cowell or whoever. They can actually see you and see how you're performing, and fans get incentivized as well with this coin. So, it's pretty significant, and it's coming out on the market in a couple months at 32 cents. And we can actually get it right now for 8 cents in the meantime. So that's pretty exciting, because that right there represents a 4 times gain and return on investment in, the next few months here, not even counting what it's planning to do after it comes out at 32 cents, as it's projected to potentially, well, I'll say my projections, I'm looking myself, I think it's going to go to $1 next year and maybe $5 to $10 in 2020. So I'm pretty excited about the long term of this project.
Well, and I love that you actually linked it to a business, because I know there's a group out of Florida that's done really successful mortgage and real estate launching. Literally, their coin is, again, all the transactions are blockchain, but they've taken a real estate transaction from this typical 5-6% to 1%. So talk a little bit more about Talent Joe, because I want the listeners to really understand that there's, in some of these cases, there are real businesses, real transactions happening behind the scenes. Like I know another one that's backed by a silver mine, an actual silver mine in Mexico. And I don't know that our listeners understand that there's what I call the air, where there's not backed by really anything, and then there's real projects. So just detail that a little bit more, because, in some ways you could say you're buying stock into this company, right? Even though it's not a stock. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, and technically we're not supposed to say it that way, but that's kind of the way to look at it, because the coin is going to rise, and so your investment is going to rise along with that, with the functionality and usability. So it's basically the coin's purpose is for worldwide talent scouting, interaction, social media, fan interaction, voting, and a whole lot more. So again, there's no geographical or time restrictions. So it's a significant pain point right now that Hollywood and the talent scouting industry has really worldwide. And that's why this coin is so valuable and has so much potential. So for an example, Justin Bieber was found in Canada, and he was lucky to get discovered on YouTube. And because, some people saw him there or whatever and recommended, and somebody told somebody. And so he got fortunate, because in contrast, this project will link talented people with talent scouts, where it doesn't matter whether they're into acting, dancing, singing, comedy, all types of, performing and entertainment. And fans actually get incentivized with coins for actually upvoting, which means, they're liking, those different performers. So a talent scout, it's very efficient for them to say, hey, I want to find a singer who has, 5,000 upvotes. There may only be a few of them on there, but now it, is a lot more effective and efficient for them to say, okay, I want this person, this person, this person, and I'm going to, try them all and, give them an audition and, see if they're the ones that I want for my performance or my show or for my movie or whatever the case may be.
That's excellent. So on Talent Joe, I know you're excited about it. There's some education. I know we're going to be bringing more to our community, but how do people get a hold of you to learn more, or, just connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just give my cell phone, and that's 702-592-5902. And basically what you would do is we can get you instructions on that, on how to, send a check in for coins or do a wire transfer, whatever the case may be, whichever option that you're more comfortable with to do that, and purchase some of these coins and get in before the deadline's coming up here soon to be able to get in on this at that price. And I was telling you, Laurel, I did another ICO called Civic. That was for security in the crypto industry. And I bought that one at 10 cents on the market when the day it came out. And it ran up to about $1.30. And so I made 13 times on my money. I put a couple $1,000s into it. I made about $25,000 on that. But the friends and family got in at the pre-ICO price at 1 to 2 cents instead of the 10 cents I got in on, which means that instead of a 13 times gain, I could have had a 65 times gain or 100 times gain had I gotten in on the pre-ICO, friends and family standpoint. So that's kind of where we are in the time frame of this, and that's why it's so exciting.
It's really exciting. So those of you that if you're interested, just say, hey, I heard you on Loral's podcast, so Eric knows where he came from. And those of you that are interested in It Fits Your Money Rules, we're not telling you what to do, cannot tell you what to do. If it makes any sense, or at least, call for more. And then stay tuned on more. We're going to be bringing Eric back, like I said, for more of a different income opportunity as well, which is super cool. Way to write off your habits. And then we'll also be bringing him back. I'm going to convince him by the end of the year to offer some ongoing education because I think it's just too critical. And I know you've linked into some communities, Eric, that I think have been, essential for you to learn what you're learning. And I think in our community, you can come and teach more. So thanks for being on today on Loral's Money Talks.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And those of you, again, if you're out listening, pass this one on to your friends, to your family, those of you who think that need to be listening on a weekly basis to Loral's Real Money Talks. You can get it on iTunes. You can get it on any of the app stores. And stay tuned in 19. We're going to be actually going through radio airwaves as well with our podcast to get these money conversations out. So if you have any questions directly for me, go to AskLoral, AskLoral.com. And we'll be back with another podcast episode soon. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the Real Money Talks podcast. Your host has been Loral Langmeyer, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View. Want to learn more about off-Wall Street investing, tax strategies, and multi-million-dollar business strategies? Visit liveoutloud.com/podcast for past episodes, show notes, and resources. For some special wealth-building gifts only for Loral's podcast listeners, visit liveoutloud.com/podcast gifts. Do you have a burning question for Loral? Visit askloral.com to submit your question, and it may just be covered on a podcast episode. So stay tuned and be sure to subscribe to get new episodes every week.